Today I am showing you how to make the best chicken stew in the Instant Pot. We love using the Instant Pot because you can easily make dinner in under 30 minutes, but it tastes like it's been slow cooking all day. It is so good. Hi, I'm Christina with eatingonadime.com. Today I'm going to show you how to make Instant Pot chicken stew. You can get the full link to the recipe in the description below. For this recipe today, I am using a 6-quart Instant Pot, but you can easily make this in an 8-quart Instant Pot or any of your favorite electric pressure cookers. Now for this Instant Pot, we have put a link in the description below, so if you don't have one yet, we highly recommend it. We are going to show you all the tips and tricks on Instant Pot cooking today. All right, let's get cooking.
Today we're using a 6-quart Instant Pot, but any electric pressure cooker will work. We are starting with 2 boneless, skinless chicken breasts, but boneless, skinless chicken thighs would work amazing in this recipe as well. Next we're going to add 2 teaspoons of salt, about a half a teaspoon of dried thyme, a half a teaspoon of poultry seasoning, a teaspoon of minced garlic, and now we're going to add our vegetables. Today we are going to do 2 celeries that we have cleaned off, and we are going to dice it small. Now when we go to dice our celery, we like to first clean off the edges and break apart any leafy greens, and then cut off the very bottom of each celery stalk. Next, you just gather them together, and then we're going to run our knife through them, just cutting slices. The idea is that you want them to be bite-sized, that they're going to fit on your spoon, since this is a stew and it's going to be eaten with a spoon. So every vegetable we make, we want it to be bite-sized. Next, we're going to peel 4 whole carrots. You can use baby carrots for this recipe, but I prefer whole carrots. We're going to peel them completely before we dice them up. The hardest part about this recipe is actually peeling the carrots, but honestly, you don't even have to peel them. If you do a quick wash, you can dice them up, and they're perfect for this recipe. Now we're going to cut up the carrots. We want them into round slices, about 1/4 of an inch thick or so. First, we cut off each ends of the carrots and then just run our knife through them. If chopping up carrots isn't your thing, you can also just go ahead and buy frozen carrots and toss those in. Now we're going to chop up an onion, and we need 1 onion dice. Now when we dice an onion, we like to cut off the edge first, and then we're going to peel off the outside edges. Now we actually do have an entire video on how to chop an onion that I'll link here, and I'll also include a post in the description below. But we do actually have a method on how to chop up an onion to where you have those perfectly diced up pieces. The first thing we're going to do is run our knife through the half of the onion, but not going all the way through. When you don't go all the way through, that ensures that the onions will stay together. Then we're going to chop it by running our knife alongside the curve of the actual onion, as you can see here. Get towards the end of the onion where it's not sliced through, you just flip it over on its side and chop through it, and then if you need to, flip it around and finish chopping it up. And that's how easy it is to chop up an onion. And finally, we need 2 medium russet potatoes. The very first thing we're going to do is we're going to peel them. If you don't want to peel them, you can leave the skins on, and you can just wash them thoroughly, and then you can dice them up. Phew, that was a lot. Okay, it's really not that much. But all you got to do is peel your potatoes, and then it's time to dice them. If you want to skip this step, you could throw in about a cup of hash browns if you'd like frozen hash browns to substitute the potatoes. When I cut a potato, I like to first cut it lengthwise because that gives me a flat surface to work on, and it makes it easier when you're cutting. Once you lay the flat surface, then you cut it in half lengthwise, and then you switch it or flip it and then run your knife through it to give you those bite-sized pieces. Now, we're not dicing the potato. We still want them pretty big because we don't want them to become to mush, but we want them to be able to fit on a spoon. And finally, we're going to add 4 cups of chicken broth. You can do water, but I really highly recommend chicken broth in this recipe, which happens to actually be a whole carton of chicken broth. And then we're going to add in 1 bay leaf. Lid and make sure you set the valve to sealing. That's very important. And then we're going to pressure cook it, and we're going to set the pressure, high pressure, for 25 minutes. Allow it to come to pressure, and then when it's ready, we're going to do an instant release where we release all the steam. Once it's actually finished, we're going to remove all the chicken and shred to the consistency that you want or the thickness that you want in your chicken stew. I like shredding my chicken with 2 forks because it gives us a little bit thicker of a chicken, but you can also use your hand mixer, and I have that information linked below in the description as well. And the last thing we're going to do is we're going to take 1 tablespoon of cornstarch and a little bit of cold water, about 1 tablespoon to 2 tablespoons, and we're going to whisk it to combine. Now what we're going to do is then once it's whisked to combine, we're going to add it directly into the Instant Pot and stir it throughout. And what this will do will actually help thicken up the stew so that way you have more of a stew consistency instead of a soup.
Now, once it's to the desired consistency, it's ready to serve. I love topping it with fresh parsley, fresh cracked black pepper. It's amazing every single time. Now, when I make this soup, we love making homemade cornbread. It's also really good with rolls or just a simple side salad, whatever you're craving. It's very filling, so you don't need a lot of sides to go with it. It smells and looks. The link to this full recipe is in the description below. In that post, we share all of our tips and tricks and our favorite side dishes for this easy Instant Pot stew recipe. Also, we have our favorite cookbook bundle, and it is 75% off right now, so you do not want to miss that. We have linked that in the description below as well. Thank you so much for joining me. Do not forget to like and subscribe so you never miss one of our easy recipes. I will see you guys next time when you join me in my sister's kitchen.